9/11, of course, the worst attack on American soil. But how should we balance security and liberty? Let me ask former governor of New Mexico and current Senate candidate as a libertarian, Gary Johnson is back. Welcome back, Governor Johnson.
Kennedy, you don't call, you don't write, so I got to run for the U.S. Senate to be on your show. Anyway, thanks for having me on the show. Yeah, you know, I wish I'd have just read your memo. Look, we should not be living in fear. And I think for the most part we're not, but government continues to grow. We need to reduce the size and scope of government. TSA has become a nightmare. Personally, I don't fly if it's 600 miles away for the degradation that I have to go through and we all have to go through when we go and fly. And for the most part, you know, that's an okay experience, but sometimes it is about as degrading as it possibly can be. The unconstitutional zone. Homeland Security. Why was it even created? Why don't they break it up and send the departments back to the agencies from whence
you know what,
they
you're absolutely
came?
right, Governor Johnson. And if you talk to Secret Service agents, they would love going back to the Treasury Department, but they're lumped in with DHS, which has diminished their agency. Let's talk a little bit about your candidacy. I think it's very interesting because if you are, in fact, elected to the United States Senate and you have a really good shot, there was a poll last month, that was before you started campaigning, 21% support in your state. That's twice what your Republican competition has, and you're gaining ground on the incumbent there. He's got 39% in this poll. Another 30% in your state said they weren't undecided, but they know you well. You served 2 terms as governor. You have a lot of name recognition in New Mexico. Can you convince enough voters to come over to the side of liberty?
Well, the pitch that I'm making is that conceivably I could be the swing vote in the Senate, and I would love to be on the Senate Budget Committee. I'm pledging to submit a balanced budget to Congress. And that means taking on some really big issues that right now everybody's got their heads in the sand over, and that would be reform of Social Security, that would be reforming Medicaid and Medicare, and that would be cutting military spending, and that would not be at the expense of not being able to defend ourselves. But $1 trillion deficit this year. This is just not fair to our grandkids or our grandkids' And if running up debt is the key to success, then Zimbabwe would be the center of the world, followed by Venezuela. It doesn't work. The eventuality of our continuing to spend more money than what we take in is at some point going to be horrible inflation.
And I hope the people in your state recognize that. It's very interesting because you will have a few friends in the Senate. They may be Republicans. Rand Paul has endorsed you over the Republican candidate in the race. Obviously, Mike Lee and Ben Sasse and others are more liberty-minded. Would you caucus with the Republicans?
You know, right now I'm saying that I wouldn't caucus with either party, but that may not be the reality if, in fact, I get elected. The idea is to work with both sides and, you know, let's get our heads out of the sand and deal with issues that everybody is aware of. Social Security is not going to be around unless we reform it. Medicaid, Medicare. Look, Medicare for all, $32 trillion is what it's slated to cost. This is incredibly unfair to future generations. It's not going to last that long. It's going to implode.
All right. Well, Gary, keep us posted on your candidacy, and I would love to talk to you again before the election.
It's a deal.
All right. Gary Johnson, thanks so much. Good luck out there.